What do billionaires, celebrities, and speed freaks have in common? They all want to get their hands on the fastest cars in the world, and who can blame them? These incredible machines are the pinnacle of automotive technology, with mind-blowing top speeds and acceleration that'll leave you breathless. But which cars are the cream of the crop? Today, we're counting down the top 15 fastest cars on the planet. Tesla Roadster. Now let's jump into our first car on the list. Number 15, the Tesla Roadster. This ain't your grandma's electric car, no really. Elon Musk is claiming this beast can hit a top speed of over 250 miles per hour. That's insane for an electric vehicle. But the Roadster isn't just fast, it's also got some serious range. Get this, it's packing a massive 200 kilowatt-hour battery pack. What's that mean? Well, according to Tesla, you could cruise for up to 620 miles on a single charge. That's like driving from Los Angeles to San Francisco and still having juice left over. And the acceleration? Forget about it. The Roadster is rocking 3 electric motors that'll launch you from 0 to 60 in a mind-blowing 1.9 seconds. You'll be pinned back in your seat before you can even say ludicrous mode. But the craziness doesn't stop there. The Roadster is so quick, it can blaze through a quarter-mile run in just 8.8 seconds. That's faster than most supercars with gas-guzzling engines. It's like having a silent rocket strapped to your back. Of course, all this speed and range doesn't come cheap. If you want to park a Roadster in your garage, you'll need to shell out at least $200,000. But hey, for the ultimate electric speed machine, it might just be worth it. The Tesla Roadster is seriously pushing the limits of what we thought was possible with electric cars. It's got the speed, the range, and the wow factor to make even the most die-hard petrol heads take notice. But as impressive as it is, the Roadster is just the start of our high-speed countdown. Speaking of impressive, wait until you see what's coming in at number 14. Let's just say it's a hybrid hypercar that'll blow your mind, but I don't want to spoil the surprise just yet. You'll have to keep watching to find out which insane machine is up next. Aston Martin Valkyrie. This thing ain't just a hypercar, it's a freaking hybrid from another planet. I mean, look at it. It's like someone mashed together a fighter jet and a race car and then sprinkled some extra insanity on top. But the Valkyrie isn't just about looks, no way. This beast is packing some serious heat under the hood. Get this, the Valkyrie is rocking a monstrous 6.5-liter Cosworth V12 engine. Yeah, you heard that right, a V12. And it ain't no ordinary engine either. This thing is cranking out a mind-melting 1,160 horsepower. That's like having a whole herd of wild horses strapped to your ride. But the crazy train doesn't stop there. The Valkyrie is so fast it can blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a neck-snapping 2.3 seconds. That's faster than you can say, holy smokes, blink, and you'll miss it. And when this hybrid hypercar really stretches its legs, it can hit a top speed of 250 miles per hour. That's faster than some race cars. But how did they pull off this kind of insanity? Well, it's all thanks to some mad scientists over at Aston Martin and Red Bull Racing. These geniuses put their heads together and cooked up the Valkyrie. And let me tell you, when these two powerhouses collaborate, the whole freaking world benefits. The Valkyrie is a true marvel of engineering. It's got the power, the speed, and the looks to make even the most jaded car enthusiast drool. And with only 150 of these bad boys being made, it's like having a piece of automotive history in your garage. But as wild as the Valkyrie is, it's just the beginning of our journey into the realm of ultra-fast machines. And speaking of ultra-fast, wait until you get a load of what's coming up next. McLaren Speedtail. Buckle up, because coming in at number 13 is the McLaren Speedtail. This thing is so sleek, so aerodynamic, it looks like it was sculpted by the wind itself. But don't let its smooth curves fool you, because the Speedtail is packing some serious heat. Picture this, you're cruising down the highway and you decide to put the pedal to the metal. The Speedtail's hybrid powertrain roars to life, unleashing a mind-blowing 1,035 horsepower. That's right, over 1,000 ponies, all working together to propel you to speeds you never thought possible. And when I say speeds, I mean it. The Speedtail can hit a top speed of 250 miles per hour. That's faster than a speeding bullet, my friends. It's like having your own personal rocket ship, ready to blast off at a moment's notice. But the Speedtail isn't just about raw power. No. This thing is a marvel of engineering. Its hybrid system is a thing of beauty, with a rear-wheel drive setup that delivers power so smoothly you'll swear you're gliding on air. And the acceleration? Forget about it. The Speedtail can go from 0 to 186 miles per hour in just 12.8 seconds. That's not a typo, folks. 12.8 seconds. It's like being shot out of a cannon, but with a lot more style and a lot less gunpowder. But here's the real kicker. The Speedtail isn't just fast, it's exclusive. McLaren is only making 106 of these bad boys, each one tailored to its owner's exact specifications. It's like having a bespoke suit, but instead of fabric, it's made of carbon fiber and pure adrenaline. So, if you're lucky enough to get your hands on a Speedtail, you're not just getting a car. You're getting a piece of history, a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of speed. But as impressive as the Speedtail is, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Chinger 21 CV Max. Alright folks, just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, here comes a hypercar that's straight out of a science fiction movie. I'm talking about the Chinger 21 CV Max. This thing is so high-tech, it's like something from the future just landed in our present. First off, let's talk about speed. The Chinger 21 CV Max is claiming a top speed of 253 miles per hour. That's right, 253. This thing is so fast it could probably outrun a fighter jet on the runway. And it's not just about raw speed either. The 21 CV Max is a marvel of modern engineering. Get this, the body of this hypercar is 3D printed and designed by artificial intelligence. That's right, AI is helping to create the most aerodynamic, most efficient shape possible. It's like having a team of super intelligent robots working around the clock to create the perfect car. But the high-tech wizardry doesn't stop there. Under the hood, the Chinger 21 CV Max is packing a twin-turbocharged V8 engine. And if that wasn't enough, it's also got dual electric motors. Altogether, this setup is cranking out a mind-boggling 1,250 horsepower. That's like having the power of 10 sports cars all packed into one. And the performance? It's out of this world. The 21 CV Max can go from 0 to 60 in under 1.9 seconds. That's faster than you can blink. And with a power-to-weight ratio that's off the charts, this thing is as nimble as it is powerful. But here's the really crazy part. The Chinger 21 CV Max isn't just a concept or a one-off. They're actually planning to produce these things. I mean, can you imagine seeing one of these rolling down the street? It would be like witnessing a spaceship landing right in front of you. So, there you have it, the Chinger 21 CV Max, a hypercar that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible with technology and engineering. It's fast, it's futuristic, and it's absolutely insane. But hold on to your hats because we're not done yet. SSC Ultimate Aero TT. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more insane, here comes a car that's all about shattering records. I'm talking about the SSC Ultimate Aero TT. This thing ain't just fast, it's a certified speed demon. Get this, the Ultimate Aero TT clocked in at a mind-boggling 256.18 miles per hour. That's not a typo, folks. 256.18 miles per hour. It's like strapping yourself to a rocket and hoping for the best. But the craziest part, this speed was verified by the Guinness Book of Records. That's right, the Ultimate Aero TT is officially the fastest production car in the world, or at least it was back in 2007. But how does a car even go that fast? Well, it starts with the engine. The Ultimate Aero TT is packing a twin-turbocharged Corvette C5 RV8 that's cranking out over 1,100 horsepower. That's like having the power of 11 normal cars all crammed into one. And with 1,094 feet lbs of torque, this thing is a force to be reckoned with. But it's not just about raw power. The Ultimate Aero TT is a marvel of engineering. It's got a fully carbon fiber body that's so light and aerodynamic it's like the car is barely touching the ground. And when you put the pedal to the metal, this thing goes from 0 to 60 in just 2.7 seconds. That's faster than most people can even react. But here's the really crazy part. When you're going that fast, you gotta be able to stop, right? Well, the Ultimate Aero TT has that covered too. It's got twin air brakes that pop up from the rear wings, helping to bring this beast to a halt. It's like having a parachute strapped to your car, but way cooler. So, there you have it, the SSC Ultimate Aero TT. A car that's all about pushing the limits of what's possible. It's fast, it's powerful, and it's got the records to prove it. But as impressive as it is, it's just a glimpse of what's to come. Because coming up next, we've got a car that's taking the electric hypercar game to a whole new level. Remac Nevera. And if you thought electric cars were just about saving the planet, think again. Because the Remac Nevera is here to prove that going green can be an electrifying experience in more ways than one. This thing isn't just fast, it's a lightning bolt on wheels. Let's start with the speed. The Remac Nevera boasts a top speed of 258 miles per hour. That's not a typo, folks. 258 miles per hour in an electric car. It's like strapping yourself into a rocket ship, but instead of blasting off to space, you're tearing up the track. But how does an electric car go that fast? Well, it starts with the power. The Nevera is packing a whopping 1,914 horsepower. That's nearly double what you'd find in a Formula One car. And with all that power, this thing can go from 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. That's faster than you can say electric hypercar. But speed and power aren't the only things that set the Nevera apart. This thing is packed with so much cutting-edge technology, it's like driving a computer on wheels. The founder of Remac Automobili, Mata Remac, wanted the Nevera to be a highly usable, no-fuss grand tourer. In other words, it's not just about going fast, it's about doing it in style and comfort. And speaking of style, the Nevera looks like something straight out of a science fiction movie. But don't let its sleek exterior fool you. Under the hood, this thing is a beast. At full power, 1.4 megawatts roar through the car, creating an experience that's both thrilling and a little bit terrifying. But here's the really crazy part. All that speed, power and technology comes at a price. The Remac Nevera will set you back a cool $2.4 million. That's right, $2.4 million for an electric car. But then again, this isn't just any electric car, it's a hypercar that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So there you have it, the Remac Nevera, a car that's defying stereotypes and proving that electric vehicles can be just as exhilarating as their gas-powered counterparts. It's got speed, power, and a split personality that's both practical and unhinged. Bugatti Mistral. This car is here to blow your mind and your hair back all at the same time. This thing isn't just a convertible, it's a 261 mile-per-hour wind tunnel on wheels. Let's talk numbers. The Mistral boasts a claimed top speed of 261 miles per hour, even with the roof off. That's right. You could be cruising down the highway, feeling the wind in your face, and still be going faster than most people will ever drive in their lives. It's like taking a private jet to the grocery store, but way more exhilarating. But how does a car with no roof go that fast without turning into a kite? Well, it all comes down to the engine. The Mistral is packing Bugatti's iconic quad-turbo W16, a powerhouse that's been defining the brand's hypercars since the Veyron. But this isn't just any W16, it's the final application of this legendary engine, and Bugatti is sending it off with a bang. To get the most out of this monstrous power plant, Bugatti had to make some serious design changes. They had to optimize the cooling and enhance the downforce to keep this thing glued to the road at speeds that would make most cars fly off into the stratosphere. And trust me, when you're going 261 miles per hour with nothing but the sky above you, you want all the downforce you can get. But revising Bugatti's established design language was no easy feat. They had to make substantial adjustments, particularly in the aerodynamics department, to create a car that could hit these insane speeds without compromising on style or functionality. More importantly, the Mistral required significant revisions to Bugatti's established design language to create sufficient downforce and engine cooling to allow for an incredible top speed of 261 miles per hour. It's like trying to turn a ballistic missile into a work of art, but somehow Bugatti pulled it off. And let's not forget, the W16 engine that powers the Mistral is a legend in its own right. This thing has been setting the standard for hypercars since it first hit the scene in the Veyron back in 2005. With 4-figure horsepower outputs and a sound that could wake the dead, this engine is the heart and soul of Bugatti's most extreme machines. So there you have it, the Bugatti Mistral, a car that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible in an open-air hypercar, with a top speed that defies logic and an engine that's going out with a bang. This thing is in a league of its own. Bugatti Veyron Supersport. Hold on to your hats, mates, because we're about to take a trip down memory lane with a car that's been breaking records and turning heads for over a decade. I'm talking about none other than the Bugatti Veyron Supersport, the iconic legend that set the standard for what a hypercar could be. Now, When this thing first hit the scene back in 2010, it had one goal in mind: to be the fastest production car ever built. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The Veyron Supersport clocked in at a mind-boggling 267.8 miles per hour, a feat that was verified by the good folks at Guinness World Records. That's faster than most people will ever travel in their entire lives, and this car does it like it's just another Sunday drive. But what's really under the hood of this beast? Well, it all starts with Bugatti's legendary W16 power plant. But this isn't just any old W16. No, the engineers at Bugatti managed to squeeze out an extra 180 horsepower, bringing the total up to a whopping 1,184 horses. That's like having a whole stable of racehorses under your right foot, just waiting to be unleashed. But here's the thing, you can't just hop in and put the pedal to the metal. To really let this thing loose, you need a second key. That's right, the Veyron Supersport has a special key that unlocks its full potential, giving you unfettered access to all that raw power. It's like having a secret weapon in your pocket, just waiting to be deployed. And when you do finally unleash all 1,184 horses, it's an experience like no other. The Veyron Supersport isn't just fast, it's a force of nature. It's got so much power, it could probably outrun a cheetah, leaving nothing but a blur and a sonic boom in its wake. But the Veyron Supersport isn't just about raw speed, it's also a work of art, with curves and lines that could make even the most jaded car enthusiast weak in the knees. It's got a presence that commands attention, whether it's parked on the street or tearing up the track. Hennessy Venom GT. Venom GT ain't just fast, it's American fast. Built by John Hennessy and his speed-obsessed crew down in Texas, this thing is packing some serious muscle under the hood. We're talking about a twin-turbo 7.0-liter V8 that's cranking out a mind-boggling 1,244 horsepower. That's like having a whole herd of wild Mustangs raring to go every time you hit the gas. And when Hennessy's team took this beast out to the Kennedy Space Center's landing strip, they weren't just going for a leisurely cruise. No, they were there to see just how fast this American-made monster could go. And boy, did it deliver. The Venom GT screamed down that 3.2-mile stretch of concrete, pushing the speedometer all the way up to 270.4 miles per hour. That's faster than a speeding bullet, and probably even faster than some of the rockets that have launched from that very same spot. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but wait, didn't the Veyron Supersport go faster than that? And you'd be right. But here's the thing, the Venom GT's speed run was a one-way deal. To make it into the official record books, you've got to do it in both directions and have a production run of at least 30 cars. And with only 13 Venom GTs ever sold, it just didn't quite make the cut. But that doesn't make what this car did any less impressive. I mean, 270 miles per hour. That's just insane. It's a testament to the raw power and engineering prowess that went into building this thing. And let's not forget, this car isn't just about straight-line speed. It's got the looks to match its performance. With its sleek aerodynamic body and aggressive stance, the Venom GT is like a predator ready to pounce. It's the kind of car that makes other supercars look like they're standing still. So yeah, the Venom GT might not have the official record, but it's still one of the fastest cars ever built. And the fact that it came out of a workshop in Texas just makes it all the more impressive. It's a true American success story, a tale of speed, power and ingenuity that's sure to go down in automotive history.
Krig Agera RS.
I've heard there's a Swedish speedster that's been turning heads and breaking records left and right. It's called the Krig Agera RS, and it's got a top speed that'll make your head spin faster than its wheels. Now, when I say this thing is fast, I mean it's fast. In November of 2017, a factory driver took an Agera RS out to an 11-mile stretch of closed road in Nevada, and let me tell you, he wasn't just out for a Sunday cruise. No, he was there to push this Swedish rocket to its limits, and boy did it deliver. With a mind-boggling 1,360 horsepower coursing through its veins, thanks to some high-octane E85 fuel, the Agera RS screamed down that road like a bat out of hell, and when the dust settled, it had hit a top speed of 277.8 miles per hour. That's faster than a speeding bullet, faster than a cheetah on steroids, faster than, well, just about anything on four wheels. But here's the crazy part. During that record-breaking run, the Agera RS actually hit a top speed of 284.5 miles per hour. That's right, this thing was going even faster than its official record. It's like Koenigsegg's engineers looked at the laws of physics and said, nah, we don't need those. But the Agera RS didn't just break the top speed record. It also shattered a whole bunch of other records while it was at it. It nabbed the fastest 0 to 250 mph to 0 time, clocking in at just 33.2 seconds. It hit the highest average speed during the flying kilometer at 268 miles per hour, and it even set the record for the fastest flying mile on a public road at a blistering 276.3 miles per hour. It's like this car was built for one thing and one thing only: to go fast, really, really fast. And it does it with a style and grace that's all its own. With its sleek aerodynamic body and its powerful yet refined engine, the Agera RS is like a symphony of speed, a masterpiece of engineering that's as beautiful as it is brutally fast. So yeah, the Koenigsegg Agera RS might not be a household name like some of the other cars on this list, but make no mistake, this Swedish speedster is the real deal. It's a rocket on wheels, a hypercar that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible and leaving everything else in its dust. SSC Tuatara. If you thought the Agera RS was the only American-made speed demon out there, then boy, do I have a surprise for you. Because there's another contender from the good old US of A that's been making waves in the world of high-speed hijinks. It's called the SSC Tuatara, and this thing ain't just fast, it's stupid fast. I'm talking about a top speed of 295 miles per hour. Yeah, you heard that right. 295. That's like taking a cheetah, strapping a rocket to its back, and letting it loose on the autobahn. It's the kind of speed that'll make your eyeballs pop out of your head and your cheeks flap in the wind. But the Tuatara's need for speed doesn't stop there. In January of 2021, SSC North America's main man, Jared Shelby, took this beast out to the Kennedy Space Center for a little speed run of his own. And let me tell you, he wasn't just out for a leisurely Sunday drive. With a whole bunch of fancy recording devices and external groups keeping an eye on things, Shelby pushed the Tuatara to its limits. And when the dust settled, this American-made monster had hit a northbound speed of 279.2 miles per hour. That's faster than a fighter jet taking off from an aircraft carrier. But Shelby and his crew weren't done yet. They flipped the Tuatara around and went for another run, this time hitting a mind-boggling 286.1 miles per hour on the southbound stretch. That's like taking a bullet train, putting it on steroids, and letting it loose on a straightaway. When all was said and done, the Tuatara had achieved an average speed of 282.9 miles per hour. That's faster than any other car on the planet, and it's all thanks to the mad geniuses at SSC North America. So yeah, the Tuatara might not have the household name recognition of some of the other cars on this list, but make no mistake, this thing is the real deal. It's an American-made speed machine that's taking the world by storm, one record-breaking run at a time. But as fast as the Tuatara is, it's not the only car out there with a need for speed that just won't quit. Because coming up next, we've got another American-made monster that's got its sights set on breaking the 300-mile-per-hour barrier. Hennessy Venom F5. I know I said the Tuatara was the fastest thing on four wheels, but hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to kick things up a notch with the Hennessy Venom F5. This beast isn't just fast, it's a freaking tornado on wheels. Now when I say tornado, I ain't just talking about any old twister. I'm talking about an F5, the most intense, most destructive tornado there is. And that's exactly where this car gets its name from. The Hennessy Venom F5 is a force of nature, a hypercar that's ready to tear up the track and leave everything else in its wake. But what makes the Venom F5 so special? Well, for starters, it's got a claimed top speed of over 300 miles per hour. Yeah, you read that right, 300. That's faster than a speeding bullet, faster than a cheetah on a caffeine binge, faster than, well, just about anything else out there. And how does it achieve such mind-boggling speeds? With a 6.6-litre twin-turbo V8 engine that churns out an astonishing 1,817 horsepower and 1,193 ft-lbs of torque. That's like strapping a rocket to a cheetah and letting it loose on the autobahn. It's the kind of power that'll make your eyeballs pop out of your head and your hair stand on end. But the Venom F5 isn't just about raw power. it's also a lightweight, aerodynamic masterpiece that's built for speed. With a curb weight of just 2,950 pounds, this thing is like a feather compared to some of the other heavy hitters out there. And when you combine that with its sleek, streamlined body, you've got a recipe for some serious speed. And let's talk about that acceleration. The Venom F5 can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. That's like teleporting from your couch to the kitchen in the blink of an eye. It's the kind of acceleration that'll make your stomach drop and your heart race. So yeah, the Hennessy Venom F5 is a force to be reckoned with. It's a tornado on wheels, a hypercar that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible and leaving everything else in its dust. But don't let its name fool you. This ain't no destructive twister. It's a finely tuned machine that's built for one thing and one thing only: speed. Pure, unadulterated speed. But just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, wait until you see what's coming up next. Bugatti Bolide. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the Bugatti Bolide. Now, when I say ultimate, I ain't just throwing that word around lightly. The Bolide is the pinnacle of Bugatti's engineering prowess, a hypercar that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible on 4 wheels. And with a claimed top speed of 311 miles per hour, this thing is like a rocket ship with a steering wheel. But the Bolide isn't just about raw speed, it's a work of art, a masterpiece of design that's inspired by Bugatti's Vision Le Mans concept. With its fantastical X-themed design language and its sleek aerodynamic lines, this car looks like it's been plucked straight out of a sci-fi movie. And let's talk about that engine. The Bolide is powered by Bugatti's unprecedented W16 power plant, a monster of an engine that churns out more power than a small city. It's the kind of engine that'll make the ground shake and the air tremble when you fire it up. But the Bolide isn't just about brute force. It's also a marvel of engineering, with a lightweight monocoque structure that incorporates titanium and carbon fiber. This thing is like a feather compared to some of the other heavy hitters out there, but it's got the strength and rigidity of a tank. And when you combine that lightweight construction with the Bolide's mind-boggling power, you get acceleration that'll make your head spin. This thing can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. That's like teleporting from your driveway to the grocery store in the blink of an eye. So yeah, the Bugatti Bolide is the ultimate expression of speed, power and luxury. It's a car that's not just fast, it's a work of art, a masterpiece of engineering that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And with its claimed top speed of 311 miles per hour, it's a car that's going to be turning heads and dropping jaws for years to come. But just when you thought Bugatti couldn't possibly outdo themselves, wait until you see what's coming up next. It's a car that's not just fast, it's a record breaker, a speed demon that's leaving everything else in its dust. Bugatti Chiron Supersport. Now we've got a car that's not just breaking records, it's shattering them into a million pieces. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the Bugatti Chiron Supersport. Now when I say this thing is fast, I ain't just talking about your average run-of-the-mill sports car. No, no, no. The Chiron Supersport is in a league of its own, with a staggering top speed of 304.7 miles per hour. That's faster than a speeding bullet, faster than a cheetah on steroids, faster than, well, just about anything else out there. But how does it achieve such mind-boggling speeds, you ask? Well, it all starts with the engine. The Chiron Supersport is powered by a monstrous 8.0-litre quad-turbocharged engine that churns out a whopping 1,600 horsepower. That's like strapping 4 rocket engines to a go-kart and letting it loose on the autobahn. It's the kind of power that'll make your eyeballs pop out of your head and your hair stand on end. But the Chiron Supersport isn't just about raw power. It's also been tweaked and tuned to perfection with a longer body, lower stance, and a whole host of aerodynamic modifications that make it slice through the air like a hot knife through butter. And let's not forget about those tires. The Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires were meticulously X-rayed before fitment to ensure perfect structural integrity, because when you're pushing a car to the limits of what's possible, you can't afford to have any weak links. And let's talk about that record-breaking run. In 2019, pilot Andy Wallace took the Chiron Supersport to the Era Lessian track and pushed it to its absolute limit, hitting that mind-boggling top speed of 304.7 miles per hour. That's the kind of speed that'll make your stomach drop and your heart race. The kind of speed that'll leave you breathless and exhilarated all at the same time. So yeah, the Bugatti Chiron Supersport is a true marvel of engineering, a hypercar that's breaking barriers and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. It's the kind of car that'll make you feel alive, the kind of car that'll make you want to stand up and cheer. Koenigsegg Jesco Absolute. I know you thought the Bugatti Chiron Supersport was the cream of the crop, the speed king, the monarch of the road. But hold on to your hats, because we've got a car that's not just breaking records, it's leaving them in the dust. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the Koenigsegg Jesco Absolute. Now, when I say this thing is fast, I ain't just talking about your average hypercar. No. The Jesco Absolute is on a whole other level, with a mind-boggling claimed top speed of 330 miles per hour. That's like strapping a rocket to a bullet train and letting it loose on the salt flats. It's the kind of speed that'll make your heart skip a beat and your adrenaline surge. But how does it achieve such insane velocity, you ask? Well, it all starts with the engine. This speed demon is powered by a monstrous 5.0-litre twin-turbo V8 that churns out a staggering 1,600 horsepower when it's running on that sweet E85 biofuel. That's like having a pack of wild horses under the hood, ready to unleash all hell at a moment's notice. But the Jesco Absolute isn't just about raw power, it's also got some serious tricks up its sleeve, like that innovative light-speed gearbox that's been specifically designed to handle the engine's massive output. And let's not forget about those aerodynamic enhancements. The Swedes have tweaked and tuned this thing to perfection, reducing drag and increasing stability so it can slice through the air like a hot knife through butter, even at those mind-numbing speeds. And here's the kicker, folks. The Koenigsegg Jesco Absolute is gearing up for a new speed run this year, and expectations are high. I'm talking sky high. We could be looking at a new world record, a new benchmark for what's possible on four wheels. And trust me, when this thing hits the track, it's gonna be a sight to behold. So yeah, the Koenigsegg Jesco Absolute is the ultimate speed machine, the king of the road, the monarch of velocity. It's the kind of car that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about fast, the kind of car that'll leave you breathless and exhilarated all at the same time. And with that claimed top speed of 330 miles per hour, it's a car that's going to be etched in the history books for years to come.